It's 6:12 in the morning. We're in the center of Italy called Civita di Bagnoregio. Actually, this place was discovered for me and introduced to me by my friend Taylor Jackson, who also got me this beautiful camera. I bought it from him, SONY RX1R Mark II. So we're waiting for sun to actually start peaking from right here. This is my beautiful wife, you know her. So sun has risen above the mountains, but it's behind the town, the medieval beautiful town right here. So like as we're waiting for the sun rays, let me just tell you, I've been shooting with this camera for almost a year now, and I use it mostly for like everything personal. So all the personal photos, my family photos, travel photos, I always have this camera on my neck, shooting my kids, shooting where I go, shooting Toronto, shooting Poland, shooting Rome, shooting like all the places that I go to. I just use this beautiful camera, and it's just so amazing for that. But also recently I started using it at weddings as my third camera when I'm pairing it with this tiny flash. This is a Godox Lux Junior. I don't like it, but I like the size of it, and it's working like once every couple shots. The batteries are just too tiny. I'm gonna make a separate review of this thing, but this little flash paired with this camera, it gives me outstanding results for one reason only. This camera has a leaf shutter, meaning it can sync at any shutter speeds, meaning that I don't need a very powerful flash to actually get that flash overpowering the sun, because I can just crank up my shutter speed. It's like similar to A9 Mark III actually. I can do like 1/2000 of a second and just shoot with it and just fire that flash up. The sun. Let me out. Come on, son. I've showed you this up before, but this is Sunseeker.
Oh wait, is your boy editing magic right here? Actually, if you want to shoot like this with me in Iceland, I'm hosting a 4-night retreat in November. I have 5 more seats, single bed seats. It's gonna be epic. It's an intimate setting, just 15 people, 5 master classes, tons of shooting. It's gonna be epic experience. And today's the last day to sign up with a $500 off offer, and you get the entire collection of my presets and courses if you sign up today. Check the link in the description for all the details. And now let's go back to the RX1 video.
So this is what I'm using to determine the position of the sun. You can see the sun right here is hiding behind Civita. We moved a little bit, so let me tell you more about using this beautiful camera, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll be able to shoot some sunrise here, some photos with the direct sun. Like we're getting there. So this is camera that came out in November 2015. So that is why everyone is asking, should I buy it now? Because it's pretty old camera. This is very old tech, but what it is, it's a compact full frame camera by Sony with a fixed lens. It's a Zeiss 35mm f2.0 lens, and this combination is just beautiful. This camera is the smallest full frame camera ever. Just look at this. It's smaller than Fuji X100V or VI. Look at this. It has a viewfinder that can pop up. You can flip the screen like this. It has a dial knob and exposure compensation knob, and a hot shoe, so you can mount a flash on it. It doesn't have a built-in flash like the previous versions of this camera. It does have the viewfinder right here, and the lens has the aperture ring, and has this distance change, so you can shoot like a closer distance if you switch it on the lens. What I particularly love about this camera is that combination of a sensor and a lens, and just gives you these images. Beautiful, soft images shot at 35 f2. Amazing. And then if you crank up your aperture to f5.6, f8, f11, it just looks beautiful. So this combination is just worth it. It has 42 megapixels, so you can actually do a lot with it. You can crop the image, you can just play around with it in a post. Okay, so you have a beautiful image. That has to be worth buying this camera, right? But there's obviously some downsides. First of all, being this camera, it's a very old tech. It's very slow to start. It's very slow to focus. So I'm actually using it at a single shot autofocus, which is not how I use Sony cameras. I like literally half press and recompose like the good old DSLR days. So this is something that is not, you know, very modern. The second thing is that you have to wait a long time to actually preview the images. This is actually the biggest one for me. So often I'm going to shoot like 2-3 images, and I quickly want to take a look at the image, and what I get instead is the, you know, the information writing to memory card, please wait, and I have to wait like a bunch of seconds. It has just one memory card slot, so I'm unable to actually rely on it on a wedding day and shoot with it for any of like professional services. And then the batteries are tiny, although I did find a solution to actually have all the time juice with me for that camera, and that is this little charger and a spare battery. So this is a dual USB charger by Petona for these NP-BX1 batteries. So these are the batteries that this camera is using, and it has USB-C. So what I'm actually doing when I'm traveling, I have this hooked up to my power bank, and it's constantly charging 2 batteries. So I have constantly 2 batteries fully charged in my pocket every time I travel with this camera, which is actually enough for anything I want to do with it. It's here, you can see it. Let's do it. So I'm actually switching between Aperture's f22 and f2. I'm going to show you the difference. So this is f22. You can see the sun as a star, and you can see a beautiful sharp edges of the town. And then I'm going to switch to f2. It's a completely different vibe. It's a bit overexposing because at f2 the maximum shutter speed is 1/2000 of a second. That's the limitation of the leaf shutter. So at f3.2 it's the same. At f4 you can do 1/32,000 of a second, 3200 of a second, and it looks like this. It's beautiful. I have this backlit image, and then at f8 I can go higher. How cool is this? Oh my god, that was epic. Like, have you seen the images? What's going on? And let me know, which ones do you prefer? Do you prefer the ones at f2, or do you prefer the ones at f22? f2, f22. So is it worth buying this camera? That's what I'm going to. Like, I bought it less than 1 year ago. I bought it off the Taylor Jackson, and it's an expensive camera. I'm not sure if this is a camera for someone who's starting out with photography. I'm pretty sure it's not, actually. It's not a camera for someone who wants a super responsive, fast camera, hybrid camera. So this is not it. This isn't like every new Sony camera, like A7C II, A7CR are going to be way better than this, like way more capable than this. But I'm just going to move here for a better autofocus. I'm going to be talking to the light. How about this? You guys are my light. Thanks so much for each one of you. But yeah, so it's not for anyone needing something like super capable, super modern, but it's perfect for someone like me who already has like tons of Sony cameras and have the professional cameras to shoot my photography and I just want something small, something that I can slow down with. So this is my equivalent of a film camera, especially when I'm applying my Flat Magic preset, which you can actually purchase down below if you check it out. Like, look at this. This is before, this is after. I can get that film look with this camera, and then with the direct flash that I have been using for my recent weddings and workshops, it's been working amazingly. Just like all of these images, I love the vibe of it. I love, you know, that direct flash look and the applied preset. And like this small compact camera can just live on my neck at all times, and when I want, I can use my professional cameras, and when I don't want, and I just want something tiny and small, and just to get the amazing images of it, I take this one. Do I believe Sony will make a new one? I do believe they will make a new version of it. I'm slightly afraid it's just gonna be too modern, and it's not gonna have the soul which this camera has. This camera has like a beautiful image look, thanks to that combination of that Zeiss lens and I believe alt sensor too. And I'm pretty sure with a modern camera, like the image wouldn't look this good. Like I'm afraid. So you can see when I'm shooting against the sun, you can see that soft light and also that little flare. And this is something that is coming from that Zeiss lens, and I'm pretty sure Sony will not make a new version with a Zeiss lens. I hope they will. I hope they will make everything that I want to, and I actually made a video what I would want from the RX1R Mark III to be. Meanwhile, this is the only thing we have, Sony boys. This is the only thing. This is the smallest full frame camera we can have. So if you can buy it used, and if you feel like you want that small, tiny, compact camera to slow down your photography, this camera is definitely worth it. If you don't want that, and you want a modern hybrid photo video camera, just get an A7C II or A7CR instead. So yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. High five to Suzanne for modeling at 6 a.m. in the morning. See you guys in the next video. Bye.